Who is Azeem Rafiq, and why has this name caused such a stir in the world of cricket? Not just in England as a country, talking about in the world of cricket and indeed in the world of sports as a whole. What has he done, or what did they do to him that caused such an outcry and has literally transformed the world of cricket as it is? Are you interested in knowing about this person, on what he did or what was done to him? Then stay tuned. I'll be right back with more.
You know the way I do it when I drop lyrical. Anytime I spit lyrical, philosophical. All the niggas mimical, but the stairs still on taking literal. Punchlines collateral. Maximum damage.
Hello Chronics, hello YouTube, how are you all doing today? So who is Azeem Rafiq? Azeem Rafiq is a former cricket player who was born in Pakistan and immigrated to England when he was 10 years old and has been living in England ever since. Now, he was one of the top prospects in the cricket scene in England as it is, and was tipped to be one of the very best. He was tipped to be the Lionel Messi of cricket. That's to know how highly rated he was when he burst in the scene. Now, according to Azeem Rafiq, he was racially abused. He's been racially abused from the very beginning, ever since he burst in the scene of cricket and was playing this game. He's been racially abused, and according to him, he claimed that the racial abuse he had been getting was one of the reasons why his career was derailed, and the people who were racially abusing this young man at the time were the ones who were in charge of the decision-making process in the world of cricket in England, and they ultimately overruled his progress in the sport. Now, he also claimed, because of course you know he was born in Pakistan, so obviously he's Muslim, and we know Muslims do not take alcohol. He claims that alcohol was forced down his throat at several times by his teammates. In fact, he was racially abused by his teammates to the point that one of his teammates actually got a dog and gave his dog a Muslim name. According to Rafiq, this was racially directed. One other of his teammates also appeared in a party and had his face painted black. Maybe this was supposed to be directed at Rafiq or something, I wouldn't know. This were his claims. Now, he reported to the chairman of the board of cricket in Yorkshire town, because Azeem Rafiq lives and is from Yorkshire in England. So he was originally Pakistani, immigrated to England to Yorkshire, and has been in Yorkshire ever since. He reported this to the chairman, and the chairman actually instituted a board of inquiry to look into this case, and this board was instituted in October 2020, and in October 28, 2021, the board came out with their findings, and they found out that out of the 43 counts that was levied by Azeem Rafiq on his teammate and the body of cricket in Yorkshire town as a whole, 7 of those were valid. Now, this is where the situation gets tricky and where the tinker hits the pan. Now, the board refused to disclose the findings of this report. The report that was compiled, they refused to disclose the findings. Apparently, it was going to implicate a lot of bigwigs in the world of cricket in Yorkshire town, so they decided to keep it under wraps. And in fact, the chairman came out and said that the sport of cricket in Yorkshire town, and in fact Yorkshire town as a whole, there are not substantial evidence to say that the town and the cricket as a sport in that town are institutionally racist. Okay, now this is a very big statement, bearing in mind that he refused to disclose the report and the finding of the independent body that was put in place to investigate the allegations of racism levied on the cricket body in Yorkshire by Azeem Rafiq. Now, when the chairman, I think his name is Roger Hutton, when he came out with this statement, the MPs in England actually invited him over and grilled him on why the findings of the board was not made public. And if the findings were not made public, how could he make a public statement saying that Yorkshire Town and indeed the sport of cricket in Yorkshire Town are not institutionally racist? Do you get it? And in fact, they also invite Azeem Rafiq, and Azeem Rafiq detailed or chronicled his ordeal of racial incidents and racial abuses and bullying that he had suffered for such a long time that eventually derailed his career. And this young man was so emotional about it. He broke down in tears while he was being grilled at the UK Parliamentary Committee meeting. I think it was sometime in November, early November. This was when this happened. He broke down in tears when he was recounting the ordeal of different episodes of racially abused incidents he had with his teammates. He also narrated bullying, and this happened over years. In fact, it got so bad that he actually contemplated suicide. And you know it has to be very bad for a man to be thinking of taking his life when he knows he has to come to practice tomorrow to meet the same people who are literally haunting him day and night and maybe calling him different names, forcing alcohol down his throat and making him very uncomfortable. And sometimes he said whenever he raised an alarm, oh listen, look at what they're doing, they always chucked it up to banter. Oh, it's just banter, we're just being boys, we're just playing around. Trust me guys, I've been here before. In one of my videos that's gonna pop up, you're gonna hear about my ordeal where I recount racial incidents that was levied against me when I was still in the United Kingdom, in England in particular, during my master's period. Now, it's so bad. I've witnessed this firsthand. I've had someone set his dog loose on me. I've had someone that told me I came to the UK by boat, I should go back to my country. I've had funny stuff happen. So I understand what this brother is going or what he went through. In fact, what I took out from this ordeal was the fact that racism in itself derailed this brother's career. One. The second thing I took out was how all these people that made his life unbearable, all these people that racially abused this man and even denied racially abusing this man, even the chairman, who now I have to say has resigned. He refused to resign before. Now that the spotlight is on Yorkshire Town, he eventually conveniently resigned. And he refused to make the findings of the independent panel that he put together to investigate this issue. He refused to let the findings go public. Eventually, somehow, he made it go public. In fact, this case was so big, or it grew so big, that the England and Welsh Cricket Organization were supposed to host a test match of some sort. Or I really don't watch cricket. I'm not a cricket fan, but this story was so big and I had to read up on it and find out really what was this story, what was this buzz about this particular case. Now, they were supposed to host some competition on cricket or tournament in Yorkshire Town, but because of Azeem Rafiq's case, they had to suspend Yorkshire Town. So the cricket team out of Yorkshire Town was suspended until this case was cleared up. And since then, a lot of people who offended Rafiq, who racially abused Rafiq and even bullied him, have come out to apologize to this man, to tell this man that they're sorry for what they did. But the thing is, guys, I'm sorry. When someone has been doing something to you for such a long time, guys, trust me, I have experienced this firsthand. When someone has been doing this to you for such a long time, bullying, racially abusing you for such a long time, just coming to you and say, oh, Ken, bro, how fun, I bet you no verse for me, that's why they do, I mean, they play. I boss said, how fun, I tell you, say your papa, I told you that your daddy and your mom, they look like monkeys. Dude, man, I was just playing, I played, they play that time, yeah, but you no verse for me. It just doesn't cut it, guys. And I've always said it. I always said this is no affront to anybody who's from England or anybody who's from the United Kingdom. I have lots and lots of friends in England. I have lots and lots of friends from Wales and Scotland. But I'll tell you this, the United Kingdom is racist. Oh, that feels so good to say. Is racist. And it's not just Yorkshire town, guys. You need to go look at Liverpool, go to Northampton, go to Nottingham. And I'll tell you what I find very, very troubling, okay? I'll tell you what I find very troubling. Now, all these people, we're talking about the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, they've all banded around this guy, and it's all like lights, camera, and action time, photography time, shake my hand time, apology time. When these people are racially abusing you, now this is something you need to think about. When these people are racially abusing you, they're not doing it in a vacuum. It's not a space where it's just you and them, open air, nobody else. It's not in the Sahara Desert. It's not in the Pacific Ocean where it's just you with a bottle of water and nobody's there to say anything. They're doing it in a place where they have neighbors. There are people walking by. There's probably a police officer walking by, a traffic warden walking by, someone walking his dog, people coming out playing tennis, jumping in the pool at the backyard. There are people there, but nobody is saying anything, guys. That is sickening. That is scary. In Nigeria, where I come from, if we see a guy running and people chasing him, you're going to see a band of other people coming in front and they're trying to protect the guy who the mob is chasing. And they will ask, what is the problem? When people tell them the problem, they find out, oh, he's a thief. Oh, he's dishonest. Oh, he duped me. Oh, he cheated me out of a business. When people find out, then they hand him over to the police or they hand him over to the mob because it's justified. But when you're being racially abused, you're being bullied by people, there are people around hearing it, watching it, seeing this thing unfold, but they're doing nothing. This is sickening. I remember when I went door-to-door cold marketing for one of the companies I worked for back then. I knocked on a door, had a civilized conversation with someone who I later found out was insane. What he was saying, he told me to wait. He was going to come out with the necessary documentation as I requested for, and went in and unleashed a dog that looked like a lion on me. I was literally on the floor. The dog was growling over me and I was screaming, help, help. And he was in a residential area. There were neighbors, there were people walking around. Nobody came to help. So I understand what this brother is saying. In fact, as Azeem Rafiq said, he's not going to advise his son. If his son walked up to him to tell him he was interested in the sport of cricket, he was going to make sure the son never played that sport. That's how bad this brother felt about the ordeals and the racial motivated incidents he had with his teammates. Okay, so if you don't know who Azeem Rafiq is, I'm sure you do now. I'm sure you do know who Azeem Rafiq is. Now guys, if you are traveling to the United Kingdom, I don't care what part of the United Kingdom you're traveling to, whether it's England, whether it's Scotland, whether it's Ireland, or whether it's Wales, you need to have this at the back of your mind and put it somewhere with the rest of your luggage and your paraphernalia, whatever you're traveling with. There are races in this part of the world. There are lots of races. I have friends who are not. Maybe they are and they never showed it around me. Maybe they are. Maybe they are not. And I always hold that we all have a percentage of racism inside all of us. Okay, so when you see Chinese people, you call them a certain name. When you see black people, I'm sure you call them a certain name. When you see Indians and whatever, I'm sure you call them a certain name. But I still believe that we need to live like civilized human beings and coexist with each other, okay? The color of your skin does not make you superior to someone else. You have to believe this, guys. The color of your skin does not make you inferior to someone else, and neither does the color of someone else's skin make you superior to someone else. At the end of the day, if I take a knife and I slash your wrist, you're still gonna bleed red. I'm gonna bleed red. Every other person is going to bleed red. So what makes you think that you were superior to someone else? There are black people who are great, who have accomplished great things. There are white people who have accomplished great things. There are Chinese people, Indian people who have done great things for humanity. Also, there are black people who are dumb. Do you get it? There are also white people who are dumb as hell. There are Indians and Chinese who do dumb stuff. It's everywhere. Different strokes for different folks. And same strokes for same folks. You get it? So we're all the same. There's brilliance, there's intelligence, there's greatness in all colors. There's also stupidity and dumbness in all colors. So why this segregation? Why all this I'm better than you when you're better than men are better than women? Women are better than men. Dude, we're all humans. Why don't we just enjoy the human experience and stop this nonsense? Okay? So guys, don't forget, it's still Fuse on the Fuse Chronicles. Come now, what are you doing? You love this content. You're here, you're watching me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go down, smash the subscribe button, okay? Support us. I appreciate everybody who has joined the movement and subscribed to your boy's channel. I appreciate the love. We're on the road to 1,000, so help your boy out. Smash the subscribe button, and if you like our content, why don't you think about turning on your notification bell so when we drop videos like this, you're notified that you can catch our content when they drop. And why don't you give us a thumbs up if you like the videos we drop, or you like this particular video? Give us a thumbs up so you show the YouTube algorithm that the videos we drop are something that are important to you, or something that helped you in some way, shape or form, so they can show it to more people like yourself around the world. And if you have people who are living in England, in Wales, in Scotland or in Ireland, why don't you think about sharing this video with them? Spread the word so that they can stay protected when they move around. So guys, don't forget, I always say it, happiness is your property. It's your job to make yourself happy, not me, you, but you yourself. Until the next one, stay safe, stay good, and be yourself. Bye-bye for now.